Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. No matter when you're watching this, this is going to be an interview for the ages. Listen, I'm officially launching my podcast. I'm Dr. Lett, the podcast. Now, I am Dr. Lett, and I'm honored to be joined by community activists, really a global host, and someone that I've watched from afar for a very long time. And how I feel comfortable doing this for all of you is from watching this man right here. Without further ado, Chris, please introduce yourself.
What's up, Dr. Lett? Good to see you, man. Love that bow tie, brother. The introduction was fire. This is Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Thank you for having me, man. Let's have a dope time today, bro.
Yes, now listen, Chris, as a community leader from Youngstown, Ohio, you are an inspiration to so many people. Tell us about your journey.
Hailing from the South Side, 513 Mistletoe to be exact. Just want to put that out there. Growing up in the inner city, I saw so much, but thankfully I had really wonderful parents and a really great village. I grew up in church my entire life, so it's a lot of stuff I was kind of sheltered from per se, but I also wasn't naive to what was going on around me. And I always knew that there was something different about me, even as a kid, and that's all right. It's okay. Like, I'm glad I wasn't the kid running the streets and getting in trouble in school and all this other kind of stuff. Look, I was known for a couple things growing up. I was playing b-ball and I was going to church, plain and simple. All right, no other way around it. And look what came out of it. Had a really good career in high school, really could have played in college, but decided to go into a different realm. And then next thing I know, I picked up a microphone, started doing things in the media space, and I guess you can say it all paid off.
Yes, now that is an amazing lead into this next question. You've interviewed some of the biggest names in entertainment, politics, sports, and so forth, but you always support and uplift Youngstown. Why?
You never want to forget the bridge that brought you over. While I have been blessed to do a lot with some of the biggest names in the world, let's not forget the names around here that have helped me out, that have, in a sense, started me on my way. A name that a lot of people probably have not heard of, but if you're familiar with my story, you know him very well, Kenny Reyes. Without Kenny Reyes on the college radio station that I was on, good old Rookery Radio, Real College Radio. Without Kenny Reyes, there is no Chris Gunther Show. He was the one that took me up under his, wing and taught me so much. And the list goes on and on. Like, if I start name dropping, I know I'm gonna forget some more folks. But as far as the journey in this particular space, he was the guy that really gave me my first opportunity. And then from there, it just kept going little by little. And then to, see other folks who do things literally all across the country, but they never forget home. A really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, Terrell Vidal. Y'all know him as Terrell. I know him as Terry. He's one of the main people from not only Too Deep Entertainment, but the businesses. Him and his lovely wife Ashley, another one of my best friends. To see what they've been able to do, literally all over the community and all across the country, but they never forget home. And I guess you can say I've just followed really great examples, because you can go all around the world. And don't get me wrong, I do know one day I'm not going to be here. But, hey, the good old guy from Youngstown, Ohio, South Side, born and raised, will always be in my heart.
Now, listen, as you just mentioned, and what you've always done in public spaces, you give flowers to legends and heroes from Youngstown. However, I'd argue that you're at the top of that list. How does that make you feel?
Like, I still got work to do, man. And the reason why I say that, and I don't say that cocky, but when you're a person like myself, I'm gonna take it back to basketball for a quick second. Not saying I was going to the NBA or anything like that, but you know how it is, young kids from the hood, we all think we going to the league. Okay,
Yep.
great. But as a guy that was pretty good, there was really only one position I can play, and that position was point guard. Okay, I'm 5'6". There's only so much that I can do at 5'6", right? But the job of the point guard is to facilitate, and is to set everybody up and really make sure that everybody is eating. I guess you can say I took the same approach in this space. So I love giving folks flowers, man. I love seeing folks like yourself, Dr. Jocelyn Parker, who was phenomenal, Michael Cotton, the greatest of all time in this area. And then you have others like Gary Thornton, DJ, the greatest host of all time, set killing it. And then you got folks like, of course, I've already said this, like you, Nasty Vibe from the greatest in this region. List goes on and on. Of course, I can name more people, but the reason why I'm a big advocate on giving other people flowers, a lot of times, you know, we get so caught up in negativity in this city and it's just jacked up. But we got so many hidden gems, man, and we got things happen. So here I am, you know, a very, I guess you can say, positive person. I do everything I can to try to show love. Here you have a guy like myself who has somewhat of a decent platform. And I'm like, instead of highlighting the negative, let's highlight the positive and let's show love. You know, that's what I'm here for, man. So I guess Johnson of media, because I'm gonna come down, run a fast break. I'm gonna sum up and like, all right, now I'm put the ball in your hand so you can score. Now the rest of it is on you.
Now, listen, amazing response. And I promise for anyone watching this, we didn't practice this interview beforehand. It just blends so well together. But that goes to show when you build community in Youngstown, Ohio, this is the result. Now, Chris, finish this sentence for me. In the next 3 to 5 years, Youngstown's impact on the world will be what?
In the next, Youngstown's impact on the world will be predicated upon how we serve each other. It
Love
will
it.
really come down to what we're doing for our own. We are living in a time now where we have to unify. We are living in a really dark world that is filled with hatred, violence, and an idiot for president. And the reality is we have to come together. We have to unify because I just got to call a spade here, man. You know, I don't have enough Dial soap to wash off the color of my skin. And I already know what they're trying to do, particularly to those young people that look like myself. And we have no choice but to unify and show them that we are stronger together. Youngstown at one point was a top 5 city. This was the place that our great grandparents and grandparents remembered. And then the steel mill shut, and we were never able to fully recover. Yet here we are years later, and you have a whole generation that is coming up that is doing everything humanly possible to change that narrative. Whether you got people in entertainment, folks in business, folks in politics, city government, and the list goes on and on. When you look at somebody like a Judge Carla Baldwin, and then you look at someone like a Derek McDowell, Mayor Derek McDowell to be exact, you see that the tides are really starting to change and things are going in a positive direction. But the only way that we will really be successful is if we learn how to work together, because we're going to need each other.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Now, to switch gears a bit, with so much on your plate, what is your go-to stress reliever?
You see, I do love to still play basketball, man. I love to still play ball just to get my mind off of everything. You know, obviously I still go to church. You know, I'm in church pretty much every Sunday unless my schedule permits that I have to be somewhere else. I love getting a chance to cut grass, which is really been a benefit. It's really been beneficial to me. And I
Yes,
really value my peace, man. Like, look here. I'm 31. I know I don't look like it, but you know, yeah, your boy's past 30 now. All right. I don't have time for drama. I love peace more than anything. I don't do the whole going back and forth. I'm not that type of guy. Okay. You're not going to see me on the internet yelling and screaming. I refuse to do it, especially if I'm not getting paid for it. But I love to live in peace, man. So I still love to play ball, love to travel, love to just reset, just so I can be like, look here, whatever is going on, I hate to hear it, but I ain't got nothing to do with me.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Chris, this is something that so many people want to know. What's the next exciting career update for you?
You got to stay tuned. That's the beauty of it. You know, I'm the type of person, I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. And there was a scene, and I still am, but there's a scene in Michael's biopic where he is talking to his new representative, John Bronca, and he's telling him what he wants to do. And one of the things he said was, I will do no interviews. I just want to keep everyone kind of on the edge, and I just want them to be waiting for it. In a sense, that's what I do. You've never seen me announce anything beforehand. Now, when I was in college, because I was doing radio, I had to talk about certain things. I had to promote, tune into my show this week. I got yada, yada, yada. But now, ever since I've been doing the Chris Gunther Show, I refuse to announce anything publicly. I'm like, nah, you just got to stay tuned to find out. So, and I know that is probably a very cliche answer, but it's the truth. I do not release anything until it's done. And that's the beauty of it. So when people ask me what's next, you just got to stay tuned, because trust me, I'm always working on something. I just don't really talk to you guys about it.
Yes, absolutely. Trust me, I get it. And you are doing amazing work. Someone that, for anyone watching this, listen, I will put all of the information that Chris has mentioned in the description. You can reach out. You can follow the Chris Gunther Show. Of course, I'm going to support that. So please connect. Please reach out. For anyone inspired by this interview, how can they connect with you?
You can connect with me on all my social media handles at Chris Gunther. You can email me at info@thechrisgunthershow.com. I'm not that hard to get in touch with. Now, if I feel like talking, that's one thing, but I'm really not that hard to get in touch with, though.
Yes. Listen, Chris, this has been an honor. This has truly been an honor. Each and every one of my interviews has been someone that I admire as a hero, as a community leader, as someone that's doing the day to day work to uplift their local community. Chris Gunther is someone that is living that day in and day out. You cannot watch any interview, any content that he puts out where he's not supporting and uplifting Youngstown, Ohio. With that, Chris, what takeaways from this interview should viewers leave with?
They should leave with, number one, they got to tune into your show, because they got to listen to the great content that you're putting out. So they got to come back and support. That's definitely it. And I also believe that they need to understand that we are so much stronger together. We can do a whole lot more when we are united than we are divided. There's so much stuff that the world is going through right now. And in order for us to overcome it, we have to understand that we need each other. You may not always agree, but there should always be a certain level of respect. There should always be a certain level of human decency. Once we can get back to that, then that's when things will get better. So I feel like anybody that's listening to this should take away from the fact that, yo, let's work together and let's make something happen. You know, none of us are going to be here forever. So let's create something that can outlive us.
Wow. Now, this has been an honor. There are interviews that I leave where I have to take a moment to reflect and just think how amazing it was to connect with the guests doing this work and how honored I am. I'm just a guy from Youngstown, Ohio, but I'm trying to make an impact and show you that you can come from your version of Youngstown, Ohio and start to uplift your name. With that, I'm Dr. Lett. Thank you so much, Chris Gunther. And this is one of those interviews for the ages.
I thank you for having me, Dr. Lett. This has been incredible. I hope that the show continues to grow, it continues to thrive. And I'm going to put this out there, man. I challenge you now to take it to another level. You know, next time I see you, don't do the same thing. Take it up higher, brother.
Yet, listen, y'all watching this, challenge accepted.
Yes, sir.